Hi guys, welcome. It's Monday night and it's time for some more development. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. We were working on our gun reveal, which basically now looks like this. And I think that looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. Right, but we need to finish it off. Now, this isn't going to be the finished version, this is the first prototype, but it completely works. So we'll finish it off, and if we get better assets, we'll add them, and we shall do that. Right, so in the first instance, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our BP iris, and then we're going to stick our reverse back in, right? But we are going to remove this because basically the iris is going to control, the gun is going to control when the iris gets open and closed, right? So we shall move this down a bit. And we will rename this to open close. Thank you for the subscribe, whoever subscribed. That was Joshua Thomas. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to control this with the actual turret. Okay, so in our BP turret, we're going to have a look at this, which does a kind of similar thing. Okay, but we're going to do it slightly differently. We're going to rename this, and we're going to say rotate turret. Okay, and this isn't going to be on begin play. We're going to fire this on something else. Okay, what we'll do is we'll set up a couple of keys on our controller to simulate this for the time being, right? So if you go in here, we'll do a keys, so we'll duplicate that, and we shall set it to a key, which is going to be, I don't know, enter, I suppose. Right, now we'll get actors of class. As I said, this is purely on our, hey Kofi, how you doing, mate? This is on a purely, so this is BP underscore turret. How are you tonight, Kofi? I am well. Ready for the rigours of a couple hours of this, and then I'll probably do a tutorial on something I did last night, which I came across the answer to of my own volition after searching the internet and not getting an answer. Right, so what we're going to do that is that, and we're going to get this, and we're going to say rotate, we're going to say rotate turret. Okay. And save that. So if we press play and we hit the enter key, right, so that's working, but we're not doing the other thing. So in turret, when we hit the button, we don't do this. Well, actually we kind of do this. What we do is we drag in our BP iris and we say open close, okay, so what did I call that in the iris then? Open close iris. Right. Open close. Right, so it's not that. Open close iris. BP iris. Now wait a minute, get child now I've never had this issue before. Cast to BP iris. That does go in there. Right, hang on a second. Delete that. I don't see why I would have to cast that. But alright, for now, we'll do this. Right. And then we'll stick a delay. Right, and that's going to be 3 seconds. And then we'll go with that. Right, so let's try that. Okay, so it's not casting to that BP iris. That's going to say it already is. Right, this is weird. I've never had this issue before. Right, this is bizarre. Do I need to get it from here? BP iris. That's bizarre. That is weird. I can only think that right. Open. Close iris. It's not doing it. I don't get it. Right, we're going to do something else here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to call it ref iris. And it's going to be of the type BP iris. Then we're going to set it. Then we're going to get it here. We're going to delete this. Well, there you go. Child actor component. Right, okay. Right, we don't know what index it is. So Right, let's say BP Iris. And let's see what it gives us here. Well, we can get it. But that still doesn't allow us to open close, right? So that's no good. Well, I've got to say, this is something I've never came across before. How do you know what index it is? So it's child actor component. Child actor. No, that's set. That's not what we want. Child actor component. Right, so let's have a look and see what is actually in here. Right, so we'll do a for each, and then a print string, and we shall bang this in here and bang this in here. Then we'll change this to 10 and to white. Then this can go in the begin play. Save that. Hit return. And it's BP Iris. So it's the only one. Right? It's the only one. So if we do that, and we grab that, right, okay, whatever. So we're going to add, no we're not, we're going to cast to BP Iris. Right. And then we're going to set it in here. And then we'll do the print string. Right, we'll move this up out of the way. Now we have a reference to our iris. What we can actually do is now grab this and then open close. Right. And this is going to be wrong. It will be okay when we open it, but it won't be right when we close it. Okay? So we're going to have to check that, but we'll check it anyway. What it's going to do is it's going to close this before the actual gun goes away. Okay? So if it return again, it's going to close it, right? And then that's going to go away. So it has to kind of do the opposite. Okay. So the way we'll do this time is we'll do a flip-flop on here as well. So first time we do that, and then we do this. So we copy that and we paste that there. Okay. And then we do the delay. And then we shut the iris. Okay. So we do that, bring that down, and pop it to there. Okay, and that should do us. So now we can do that. And then we can do that. Oh, our thing isn't doing it, isn't closing. So I'm guessing, right, what we'll do is we'll just split these up. If we split these up, it's going to be a lot simpler, right? So these are already split. Right. Okay. But what we need to do is check our iris. And these are already split as well. Right. So we don't actually need that. Save that. And then in here, we don't actually need that or that. And we don't need that. So this is going to be open iris. Okay, as I've tried to explain to everyone, it's kind of a mix between Factorial Satisfactory, Surviving Mars, sprinkled with possible RimWorld. Okay, that's how I describe it to people. Now, how much sense that actually makes is, I'll let you see it in a minute. I'm nearly finished this part. This is just a bit of fun for earlier, just to get this working. Just to add yet another mechanic into the game that'll... Right? So, we basically say bring online. Right? And then this one we say bring offline. Then we put our delay, and we can take away this flip-flop, and we can do that. So we take it offline, delay, Then we basically get this, and we close iris. Okay. And that should be us as far as the revealing the gun and putting it back in its box, basically. So let's try that. That's good. There we go. So that's beginning to look quite good. Not perfect, but the code's there and it runs and it does what it should. So in the meantime, we'll move it right out the way. And right, for those who haven't seen this before, this is what the game is. I need to open up the main menu first before we do anything. So we'll do that just now. Right, so here we go. We shall start a new game. We shall call it subscribe. Hint, hint. Okay. So the first thing you can do is you can launch probes. Okay. This is a simplified version, but you get the idea. You launch probes and the probes fire into the ground, right? And then basically they search for a mineral. Now at the moment they find the mineral every single time, right? Obviously that's the desired effect at the moment while testing, right? And what we want here is we want bauxite, right? Now it'll come online and we've got bauxite, right? So with our bauxite, we can now start building other buildings. So we build a refinery, we can build a smelter, we can build a fabricator, then we can build a research place, a research station. Okay? And then what we can do is we can spin these round. So that they're better suited to this. Right, now, first thing we need to do is set this to iron, set this to science, and we don't need to set that. But what we do need to do is pick a research, right? So we're going to do probes. We're going to research probes. So it says researching, but it's not actually doing anything at the moment because we've not actually got anything to work yet. So what we do is we make our conveyor belts. Now again, whoops, can't even remember how to play my own bloody game. Right, go to press that one, right? Then we bring out our conveyor belt again, zoom it up here, select this once it's there, then it, as you see, it adjusts our conveyor belt to fit properly. Then we do our last, no, it's not our last one, but it's the last one up here, and we bring this and we attach that to our science. And finally, what we do here is we join up our bauxite. Now, these you can draw them how you like. You can you can do that if you like. And then as long as you fill it up at the end, we're good. So this is now going to start bringing out bauxite, which come in these barrels. And the next thing we shall do is hit this button a lot, and that adds workers, which means that we get more product. Okay. And now the super interesting thing is we actually have this all saving properly. So as you can see, this now starts passing stuff out. Now this is using the same model, so don't worry about that, but this one is going to give out iron sheet. Right, so as you can see, we get little sheets of iron. Okay. And then this is going to start. Here comes our research tubes. And our research tubes are going to go into here. And then they're going to start getting processed, okay? But the interesting thing is I'm going to hit the save button. So I've just saved. And the super interesting thing here is, well, first of all, we can look at our research and we should see, yep, there we go, started researching. So this is going to go up as we research it. And the other thing is, this spaceship, you can trade with it. So you need to know when it's coming into land so that you can trade with it. So this is why we've got a little TV screen thing showing us that. So in the meantime, what we could do, right, is we could build another factory. And this is going awfully well. This will update in a second. Yep, that should actually update straight away. I should really check that. But anyway, it is working. And we shall see what we have here. Right, come on. Copper ore. Okay, so what we can do is pretty much nothing actually. We don't have enough, right, we don't have enough of anything to build anything, right? So what we're actually going to have to do is we're going to have to put, oh, they won't even make it. Darn it. Okay, we're kind of screwed. Right, but anyway, we'll hit save again, right? So that we can actually test this. And I'm going to press stop. Now, if we press play and continue, you'll notice that all our stuff is back on the back on, and it just carries on. Okay. And so what we actually need to do is we need to check. I'm going to press continue again, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to check, I think it's 5. Yeah. Right, we're going to sell. Right, so we can sell this stuff here. So we can sell bauxite, right? Apparently. I'm going to hit that button again because I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, we can sell bauxite. So we can trade that, and that gives us 227. Okay. And this is our warehouse. Right, so we can put our stuff in warehouse so that we can sell it. Okay. And this should allow us to actually build more things. In the end. Right, so if we hit 5, we should be able to, so this is buy. So we want to buy, no, this is still sell. We want to buy, sell. Right, we want to cancel this. Because I don't know what we need to build these buildings. We need to know what we need to build those buildings, right? So we need to find out the costs of these things. Right? Now, I'm kind of sure they're not in here. Yeah, not in there. Right, so I believe they're in UI, in game, and buildings menu doesn't have it. Yeah, I know what it is. It's in recipes. Okay. Or in fact, is it? It's not in DT product. I know that. Right, so these are the products and not the actual menu items. To recipe iron sheet, copper sheets, you see that these don't actually, the smelter does, but that's actually just for making it by hand. Right, so it's not in there. I know where it is. It's instructing data. Okay, so it's in here, menu buildings, right? So this should tell us what is required to build these. Copper ore, bauxite. So everything's copper ore and bauxite, right? So we have stuff going into, we have bauxite going in, right? So the next thing we need is copper ore, basically. And probably this will be the night where I don't get any copper ore, it's all bauxite all blooming night. But you can see here that we are on nothing at the moment. Our research has gone off. Well, that's a save issue. something hasn't worked here. Have I hit a wrong button somewhere? That's the question. Right, continue. Right, everything's going there. This smelter is not set. Right, and it looks as if this thing is not set either. So there's something going on here. Alright, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to go into BP object. We know we need copper on bauxite, right? So that's a given. So we have to fix these bugs along the way. Now I don't know if those things are blocking, but right, and this is a really weird one. So go back to here. So it's not destroying that actor, right? So basically what we've got to do is valid, right? And that goes in here. And get rid of that just now. This goes in here. And this goes in here. Right, and we'll pull this down a bit. And if it's not valid, we just immediately destroy that and get it out of the way. Right. So that should sort out the problem. Save that. Right. So these are basically, we've got workers, but for some reason there's something not getting reset. So if we check the refiner, right, so it's got its recipe and it's got its output. And that's all good. And now we need to check the input and the output. So comp input is bauxite, but there's nothing going in. right? So if we pause that, when this is getting created, basically none of this stuff right, so it's coming in here and it's got no end actor. Okay. Now, I'm not too sure if I checked this last night or if I just eyeballed it and thought it was actually working when it actually wasn't. So when we create this, we do that, and we get the spline. Right. So if we resume that, my spline is something. So we step over and that gets set to the track. But where do we set the end spline? Right? And the end spline is actually in the spliner. Right? So we need to open up the spliner. And yeah, there's no end actor. Okay, so what I'm thinking here is this got a built by EMS? No, it hasn't. Right, what I'm going to have to do is check to see if this is built by EMS, because if this isn't built by EMS, well, actually there's a check there that does it. Do we have? Yeah, no we don't. Actually we don't. So this current spliner shouldn't be done if it's not saved by EMS, and that might be what is screwing the whole thing up. Okay, so I'm going to go and grab a cigarette. I should be back in a moment or two. 2.5 minutes, guys. In the meantime, you can check out the links in the card, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we are back and we need to do a little bit of checking here. So we need to add a variable. Is saved by EMS. Okay, and then what we need to do is go into our controller, and when we're saving we need to get all the splines and basically do that, and then we need to do this, and it's a spliner. Then we need to do a for each loop. Right, and plug this in. Then we need to see is saved. Set that to true, so that when we save it, we can. I mean, we are going to have to do this again or do certain other testing, but it needs to be done, I'm afraid. Okay, so it's going to play silly people with me. Right. So we might have to do some jigging of numbers here. Well, actually no, we don't. But we do need to go back into our spliner. And we need to do this, get it, then if it I'm not sure we need to do any of that. Right, so what we'll do, right, is we'll say branch off of this, right? And we'll do a not. Right, we'll plug this into here. And this goes into here. And this goes into here. And we don't need to do, we shouldn't need to do this. Right? We should be able to just break this. Drag this across a bit. Drag this up into position. And do that. And then if it's false, we come to here. And then we do this part here. Okay. And we can save that right now. Now we need to test this. So new game, spline test, and we need to put down a probe, and our refiner, and we need to work on it from here. And hopefully this is bauxite. Of course it's going to start giving us copper ore now that we want bauxite in particular. Yep, knew it. So we thought we had it all sorted out, but apparently we don't. Okay, so this is bauxite, right, which is fine. So what we do is we build our spline to here, then we basically disable this and resume, then we save it, we stop it, and we press play again, and we continue. And apparently it didn't save anything. Right, okay, whatever. Did I press the wrong button there? Cancel that. Load game. Spline test. Yes. Right, so why didn't you save? Right, that's weird. So CSP1. Right. That was a bit weird, shall we say. Right, just to be on the safe side, what we'll do is we'll make sure it saves. Right, so come over here. Oh, this is bauxite. Please be bauxite. Ah, it's copper ore. Right, okay, that's it. We're done. Right, it's going to pump out bauxite whenever I say. So if we go to minerals and we go to BP mineral, it's going to bauxite. Right. SP2. So we're guaranteed to get bauxite now. Right. I'm not even going to check this. Right, so we can add that on. This should start bringing stuff out. Then we save it. Right, so it is coming in here. And it should save all of them. So if we resume, then we stop it. Okay. We can press play. And okay. So basically, where's the spline? Where did the spline go? So it's not doing the spline. So I can only assume for that, right, that the spline isn't going into the EMS, so it's just going to here, right? And yeah, it's going into there, so this isn't getting set for some. If I done a stupid, I think I've done a stupid. No, I haven't. So what's going on here? Why is this not getting set? Right, I'm going to add the breakpoint. Right, we're going to have to do this again. So this is SP3. A lot of testing going on at the moment with this save game thing. Now we know it's going to give us our bauxite, so that's okay. This is the part where time flies by and you're kind of not getting anywhere. Right, so what we'll do is, I was going to say we'll save it there, but there's not really any point because it's really the spline that we need to build to then save it. Right, so that's correct. Right. And then that's that done. Then if we come in here and resume that, it's definitely going in here, and we have one spline, and it is setting it. Okay, so if we stop that, and we continue, it says it's not. What is going on? Oh, foolish, foolish man. This might be the cause of all the issues that I was having the other day. Right? This should not be here, because I'm saving it before I set up all these saves. Right, so basically this should be like that. Amateur mistake, amateur. So none of these would have been set up properly when you press the save button once. It would only have ever worked when you basically saved it twice. It would have saved the basics for that actor, but it wouldn't have set them to be saved by EMS. Right, so what we can do here is we have to restart SP4. Well, we just started with this easy multi-save. We do like it, it is good, but we are learning, so mistakes will be made, and plenty of them, I would suggest. Right. We spin that round, we draw a conveyor belt once this is ready, of course, and we take it from there. We resume that, and we click on that. Right, so we save that, resume that, resume that, resume, and then we stop it. And now, right, so we know that's working okay. And we know this should be working okay now. So if we press play and continue, that shouldn't have went in there. That should not have gone in there. Where is my spline? Right, so this was in here, right? And we draw the final spline. get the final spline points, which is okay. So this was all working. This was all working. Until I broke it. And now it's not working. Right, so that was get final spline points, right? And then that was length. That was greater than. Now I'm not 100% sure what I did if this failed, but branch so try this again. It's still going in here. I don't get it. I do not get this at all. So we're setting our actors building base. We're setting our actors connector base. We're setting our actors output objects, and we're setting our thing there. And that's all perfectly correct. Except it's not working. Right, so what we want to do here, right, is we want to have a look at this as saved by EMS, okay? Oh, I'm an idiot. We didn't save it. Oh. Got to remember to do that. Got to remember to do that when you're using EMS. Damn it. Well, I told you plenty of mistakes would be made. And we're certainly living up to that. It's a bit of a goofball move, but anyway. Build that. Right. Oh, thanks for the kind words, Mert. It helps if you just stick it on your wish list. You don't need to buy it or anything. I mean, you can if you like, but yeah, stick it in your wish list helps as well. Right, that's what we expect there, right? So we'll build that and build that there. And now we should save it. Bang, right, so that's it saved. We'll stop it. Press play. Continue. Right, right. No way that's going in there. Why is it going in here? This should be true. But it's false. Oh. Well, that's very kind of you, Mert, if you do that. Like, this is bollocks. I mean, right, what we could do, right, is we could do it the way we were doing it before, which was kind of a you're developing like a podcast. Don't know exactly what you mean by that. If you're developing like a podcast, or yeah, I don't quite understand. Yeah, so that's going to be the true, right? And that's going to be the false. We can fix that around. And that basically takes us back to the same code we were on. Right? Kind of a bit of both. While I'm open to another job, I still want to keep doing this. And then obviously if it's any sort of success, then we just work on this. But at the moment, I've got plenty of time to work on this. But that might not be the case for very long. Right, so if we continue, right, is it going to draw it this time? Apparently not. Right, whatever's went on here, I have completely broken it, because the spline is not drawing at all. Right, it's just completely went to shit. Right. Couple of months. Couple of months, mate. Right, so whatever's going on, we've completely broke this damn thing. Right, let's look at our spliner again. Right, so this is our spliner, right? Oh, I might be a dum-dum again. Right, so what we'll do is we've got to move this and this and this. We've got to move this delay. No worries, mate. Have a good night. Thanks for popping by. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Not very good at that shilling, but I feel kind of dirty doing it. But anyway, thanks again for the kind words. Yeah. Right. Right, so what we'll do is we'll bang this up here. And this can go up here. Save that. Right. It's true. The length is 18. And if we step over this, we have none. So this is the end actor, right? So I'm guessing that whatever this end actor is, is none. Is that done? Wait a minute, wait a minute. Can we save that as a component? Right, see in our spliner, right? We have this end actor. And for whatever reason, it isn't saving. Right, I'm just thinking here, can we save this as a component? I don't think we can, but let's see if we can do it. No. That end actor is not a component. Although right, whatever. Whatever. I need to see where this is getting saved. Right. So this is in functions. Or at least it should be. And components to save. But it isn't in there either. Right, I wonder if we can... Right, we need to learn how to do this. How do you remove a function. Like this one. Right, that's the question here. I'll tell you what we'll do in the meantime. Yeah, it is visible. Right, so where does this get set? Set end actor. So it sets it here. Right? Now, the problem was that this was working. The objects. Right. Okay, where's the objects? Right. Right. So this. Right, so what we're going to do is do that. Then we'll move this out a bit. Move this. This can go in here. To here. Then it can go to there. Right. And 0.5. And that's the right mesh. Right, so that's okay. But you'll notice there we have a no end actor, which is something that we do not want. And everything now has a no end actor. So for whatever reason, don't ask me why, this is not working. I'm just wondering here if, I mean, I must have checked this a million times to be honest, where this, yeah, it gets get, Can do a 0.2 on that. And I think we're going to have to try and test it again. But I think I'm going to call it for the evening. I really don't like it when I'm having to just test on stream, because it's not very exciting for you guys at all. So on that, check out the description for Discord, Patreon, my other Steam game, all the rest of it, and I shall catch you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and bye.